Hello, Zion. Hello, Zion. Yes, early joiners. Shanai, my lovely, lovely Shanai. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining.
Can I borrow this quickly, please?
Just waving in. Get your books. Get your books. Should be killing books over this lockdown. Killing books. Yes. Anna Louise joined waving. Bless you. Some of these names I can't even pick up. My eyes are getting worse looking at these laptops all the time. Whose eyes are getting bad looking at laptops and phones? It's really affecting your eyes. The opticians must be making a mint. Glasses. Opticians are killing it. Josh, yes, bless. Miss Terry, bless you. X, yeah, Shania, showing love again. Sandra, lovely. Yes, Prince, easy, Josh. Respect, man. It should be really good today because we're doing. Oh gosh, I didn't even. Let me colour that Isha, please, sweetheart. Forgot to show who wins, Tyson or Joshua. In a word, I'm gonna go for the mover. I'm gonna go for the mover and the boxer. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Tyson, and he's just shown me something. He's shown me something really special with Wilder. That's what done it for me. Yes, Harvey. Fabio boxing. Yeah, for me, Tyson showed me something so special against Wilder. I'm not sure if Josh could do that based on watching his test, and his acid test was Ruiz, and Tyson's acid test was Wilder. Fury went for that acid test. He wanted it, and Joshua thought Ruiz was going to be probably an easy route. Easy as in his previous, what he's been up against, who Joshua feels he is. So I kind of go into a fighter's mind, having been a fighter myself. So just to answer that question, this sister sends her love. Yeah, thank you, my darling. Yes, sis. Brother loves you. Everyone joining in, who's coming on time and early, please shout Isha for me, sweetheart.
I'm coming, honey. Just bear with me. I'm just.
Thank you. Who's that? Ghost man. Well, no wonder I can't see you, Ghost man. Thoughts on Kelly last night, yeah? Okay, yeah, last evening. Thoughts on Kelly. He knew he was in for a tough fight, but he really did believe that he had way more talent, and talent might have been enough for him, but hard work really showed through. Plus, he might not look as flavoursome as Josh does in his style and his output. The way he looks attractive. It's sexy boxing. Boom, boom, boom. It's sexy. We love that. But my man's just like this, and he's focused, and he can take licks, and he's got the pressure. So he just kept that going. And sometimes that can break down talent, and that can break down because it tests the heart of a talented fighter. So I've seen fighters like Josh before, really talented, really great. They look unbeatable. They look like they're going to the very top. But the acid test is you have to put them with a gritty fighter who works really hard, who doesn't care whether you hit him or not. He's going to keep coming. That is the test. And that's the test we all got to face in our life. You see, there's a lot of people that have been doing well. They got good jobs, they got good money, life's been steady. They go through their ups and downs, but life's pretty steady. But the acid test for them comes when, yes, thank you, Kane. Sending love to you both. Mad love to you, Kane.
Thanks, Kane.
The acid test comes when maybe you lose your job. Maybe you have more problems with the family than you expected, and there's some hills to climb. And those mountains to climb really kind of test the heart of you. And I think that lockdown's doing that to all of us. Come on, let's admit it. Lockdown is testing us all. It's testing our resolve. It's testing our patience. It's testing our relationships.
Our resilience.
Yes, my darling, our resilience. It's testing so much areas. It's testing whether we have the mindset. Yeah, to be able to
hi, Isha.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Hey, Isha's here. Oh, my wonderful special guest. She's awesome.
Did she know she was a special guest?
Of course. We don't muck around, do we, Isha? We don't mess around.
Hi, Rachel.
We had a deep talk. Yes,
Hi,
Victoria,
Victoria.
you joined us. Come on, you Oz.
Yes, come on, you Oz. Doing bloody better than Arsenal, I'd say.
Ooh. Hope you're drinking your water, everyone. Hope you're well hydrated. We'll talk about health stuff at another episode. We'll focus on all the things that we need to be taking as because they've only given us one option, haven't they? Let's be fair, okay? So, let's break it down. We all know that there's a flu jab, and that's a vaccine jab for the flu. But we also know that there's options to the flu jab. It's natural products that fight against viruses that build the immune system. It's always been there. God's never going to leave us without another way of tackling these things. So there's other ways to tackle the virus of COVID also, just like the flu jab. And those are the things that I use to keep myself in good health, to look after myself, and to be healthy.
Hey, Dino.
At the age of 52.
You
Easy,
alright, son?
Dino. Hello, you two
Dolly.
lovelies. All right, Dolly. You lovely little dolly bird, you.
You're so sweet,
Yeah, thank you. Everyone's coming in slowly but surely. How's everyone's week been? Give me a fist if it's been a tough week. That shows that you've had to fight your way through to Sunday. There you go. Do you want some paper as well?
So I've got paper.
There you go. The Wi-Fi's fine. When everyone starts complaining about we're freezing, that's when we know we're freezing. I'll take it off, man. If we keep freezing, guys, let us know. Okay? Punch in the air. Yeah. Punch the air. Good. Who's been having a challenging time with their young people? Who's got children at home?
I don't.
Give me a thumbs up if you've got kids at home. Who's that? Who's that? Henry. Get in, Henry. 9-3.
Freezing, mate.
Freezing, mate. Oh, really?
Yes, you are. Okay, so take it off the thing, hon.
Well, babe, it's never going to be any better with my broadband.
No, it's not
been
broadband,
playing
your
up.
mobile data.
That's right. It hasn't been playing better with my mobile data. Trust me. We just have to. I just hope the thing. That's two people saying it's been freezing. Do you have any rituals or like pre-match superstitions, like in boxing, or like daily life, like prayers? Yeah, that's a given. I'm only 16, so no kids at the moment. Okay, so you're the other way around. So what's your relationships and what's your troubles with parents? What's the challenges with your parents being at home at 16? So it's vice versa. So it's not just for parents with kids, it's for children living at home with parents. What's your challenges? Those are the questions that I want you to pose in for today's live show. what are the challenges that you have been facing over this, and what questions would you like to ask that we can come up with solutions with as we speak with Isha, our special guest on this. And she specializes in dealing with families and support for families, and she'll share some of the problems that she's been facing as well while you joined. Okay, so throw your questions in from now, and we'll host Dazine. Let's start. In fact, let us start.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to another episode of Dr. Prince OBE, Insta Live, Reflection and Inspiration. And I'm introducing my co-host, none other than Queen Dazine. And we have got an awesome week, awesome episode for you today. And it's all about the struggles and challenges that we're facing during lockdown with families, children and parents. A lot of this. So young people, put your questions in. Parents, put your questions in. How can we support you during this time? And we'll have a support network for you afterwards. We'll share with you an online network that you can get to for various different areas. And Isha also, she's wonderful enough. Isha, you can actually come in and join me evening. Hope everyone is well and having a great weekend. Yes, we are. Norman, bless you. Jamie, lovely. You look good, Mark. Oh, that's really cool. I tried to got to impress my wife. She likes when I kind of dress and look. I don't want no businessman to come in and take over and look all sharp and that. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, man's got to step up the game. Can't be wearing t-shirts every week. Got the queen here.
Let's go.
So Isha, where you at? Let's start with you, my darling. Let's bring you on straight off from early. Guys, where's your questions? Dazine wants to list them down and take them in. Isha there. Lovely. What?
She needs the latest.
Wow,
Isha, you need
Isha,
the latest
you need
version
the
of Instagram.
Isha, you need the latest version of Instagram to join. How to prevent injuries when training. You're in great shape. Thank you so much, bro.
I'm looked down with. Okay, let me take some of
so
these
how
questions.
do you prevent injuries? Overtraining, injuries. Not enough water intake, injuries. Okay, not enough stretching, exercise and dynamic warm-up training, injuries. Okay, so you have to be training really intelligently and getting some knowledge about how to train very well. So research about training. Like if that's your trade and that's what you do, and that goes with anyone. If you've chosen to do something, the more knowledge you have around that area, the better you're going to be able to execute. Yeah, Faulkner joined. Yeah, so I hope that helps. You can reduce injuries in training if you look after yourself. Sleep is massively important because that's where healing takes place. And if you don't have a good routine of training, sleeping and eating, you're going to find that you got a lot of injuries. If you want to have some bad habits and then be doing that outside of training, and then, you know, because you're talented, you're able to get away with it, that's not going to last long. It's going to catch up on you.
What do you mean, Victoria? What about adult kids doing crazy stuff? Give me a better question. What about adult kids? Be specific. What crazy stuff?
Should you use hard times to fuel your hunger for life and your goals? If you don't, you will not be able to grow and tackle the challenges that are coming. So these challenges that you're facing aren't coming to break you. They're actually there to make you. Excellent. Oh, really? Is it saying the same thing?
Let me just message her.
Have you downloaded the latest version yet, Isha?
Let me
just join. Thanks for keeping on joining. What about adult? Okay, we'll deal with that. So I hope that answers your question about the hunger for hard times. So let me just finish that. So things are gonna be very difficult, especially if you're trying to move from one place to another in your life. If you're trying to improve the quality of your life, if you're trying to improve the quality of thinking in your life, whatever you're trying to improve, it's not going to be easy. So that it has to be that way or it has no value. If it's easy, then where is the value in that? How are you going to learn when you're just on the beach having a comfortable time? You don't come away teaching people lessons apart from the fact that you had fun. When you've had a hard journey, you've had a long marathon and a run, you've realized what your breaking point was, what you had to break past to get there, how you felt after that, getting second wind. There's so much you learn on that struggle. So I think we need to sort of embrace struggles a little bit more and accept them instead of feeling like, woe is me, like I'm done for because this has happened to me and this has come my way. So as you were saying, yeah, use it as fuel. Give yourself more reason to make it. People hating on you, people jealous of you, people talking about you, getting married, coming this time. Yeah, I think it's going to work this time.
Russell, you started boxing so late. How did you arrive so quickly?
You started boxing so late. Okay, I'll be honest with you, yeah? I'll be really honest. I done 9 months from the time that I decided to stop bunning weed, stop shotting with my friends, stop doing drugs and all of that. From that day to the day I had my first fight was 9 months. Every single day, all I done was train. Okay, I got up in the morning. I changed radical. See, when you really serious about changing your mind, you don't make excuses. And I hear a lot of people making excuses about why they can't change, why this can't happen. And I didn't look for reasons why. I looked for reasons why not. So let me just finish answer. Go on.
Isha, I've sent you a request. Okay. I'll send you a request again. Hang on. Carry on, Mark.
Yeah, so I didn't look for reasons why I couldn't do it. I looked for reasons why I could. So I knew that if I kept moving with the same man, and that would have wasted my time. If I kept doing the same things, that would have ruined my body. So I knew there were certain things I had to take massive action and stop doing. So there was certain I couldn't even bargain. There's no bargaining. And that's what we want to do. We want to bargain. We still want the pleasure. We still want the fun while we're trying to make things happen and change. So there's some things you have to cut off. You have to cut it off dead, or that shows that you're not serious. And I showed by my actions, and not just my talking, by my actions, that I was serious about how I wanted to be an example to my kids, that I was serious how I wanted yes, Prince, hope you're well, I am my brother. Who's that, Shana? Is that Shane? No, Shane Green, yes, Shane, bless. That I wanted to change my life. So how serious are we about making change? I make excuses for ages, for being stuck, it's all, yes, bro, and I'm making, okay, it's Nola. Great. So that's really good because you're admitting where you're currently at. That's really important. I had to do that. I was like, where am I right now? I'm a mess. My body's a mess. My mind's a mess. That's where I currently am. And where do I want to be? Okay, I want to be at this place, at this address, at this location in my life. So how do I get there? It really is like a sat nav. Once you know what you want, you put that postcode in, and then you decide you follow the route. So you have to create a route to where it is you want to go. So if it's training, if it's losing weight, if it's writing a book, if it's just changing the way you're thinking, you have to create a route moving forward and start working towards that. Just like you do in the car. It says go left here. You have to You know, even if you think, well, you know, that way's better, but that way the sat nav might know has got a lot more traffic that way. So you have to follow what you've researched and known is the way to go. Okay, you have to follow footprints that have already gone before you. So I follow the footprints that my dad had. He used to wake up in the morning with boots, go down the palace in the mud and the mess, and just run up the hills and be in the grass. So that's how I started my career. Yes, Ben. Yeah, man. Love you too, my brother. Hope you're well, my brother. 14 Harrison. I'm very well. Bless you, man. So I follow my dad's footprints. So find someone who's done it before you. Find a success model and follow that model, because SatNav only follows routes that have already been done and tried. That's why they know there's certain options that you have, and it tells you this option is going to take you 10 minutes longer. This option is going to make you 10 minutes longer. Here is the best option. So you got to find the best option, and things could happen during that option that you take, but is it still the best option? Yes. So stay focused. Keep your mind on it. Yes, my brother Ahmed. Love you, man. Thanks for joining us. Yes, Uncle Prince, Diamond, bless up. Yeah, so really it's, I hope you get sort of like quickly what I'm trying to break down here. Are we able to bring Isha on?
Didn't she accept? No, let's try it again. Isha, just have a look out where I'm sending you a request to join.
Sending a request, my darling. Charlotte, great advice. Thank you so much. It's good to get feedback because it's important that we understand where we're coming from here, and it's great listening to great advice, but what are we going to do about the great advice we get? Because what's preventing you, most of us, from becoming the great individuals that we are is, listen to this, information and action. It is not because the other one's more talented. It's not because the other one's just naturally gifted. It is not because of all the things that we make up why they're in their position and why we're in our position. Okay, it's not because of that. Love this guy. Love you back, my man. VJ.
Isha, can you not see the request coming in?
It's because we need to understand that the difference between us being successful is information and action. Imagine, yeah, if you knew how to, let's say, go into the gold market, get some gold, sell it over to the phone people, because there's no laptops and no gadgets that don't have little gold parts and stuff in them. They can't function without them right now. That's why all the parts in Africa, they all want to do business to get them over. Please join us, Isha. And imagine if you knew and you had all that information, and all you could do is actually... Let me just finish this point before I have a little dance. Let me just finish this point. Imagine if whatever it is you were passionate about doing, you had all the information on it. You had everything you needed to make this happen. Just imagine that. And then the only thing separating you from reaching your goals is taking action. Because it's not going to happen unless you take action.
That's right.
You can have all the information in the world. That's a brilliant step. And here's where most people stop on their journey. They love the writing, the collecting the information bit. But when it's time to act, that's when they get stuck. That's when they find it difficult. What do I do at this time, at that time, at this stage, at that stage? They don't write out a plan. They don't say, here's what I've got to do today that takes me closer to my goal. So if I knew how to be able to link up with the people that got the gold parts into the different digital gadgets, laptops that we have, I would be in business with these people. So I hope that's helpful.
Fantastic. Ahmed, can we answer this question after we've spoken with Isha? It'd be great to actually answer that question.
Yeah, have you got that down?
Yes, I've got it down.
Isha. I'm so happy to have you. Guys, I don't know if any of you remember Isha. Just give us a thumbs up if you do. Isha came on episode 4, I think. Episode 4. Do you remember, guys?
Maybe, yeah.
And we talked about families, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about families. Yeah, my one's is carrying on going. So we're not freezing at the moment, so that's really good. And we talked about families, but I thought that it was really important to bring Isha back because I've got so much great feedback from people. Therefore, let's bring Isha back because many of us are struggling with children in the home, being there, and really having to face up whether we like being around our children or not. And not just that way, vice versa. Because we've had to admit that maybe we don't like the kids being at home. We really enjoy the kids. Mark and Marvin to be on TV's regular. We like the kids going off to school, yes. And it's almost like, whoa, yeah. Okay, I can start my day now. The kids are out my hair. And it's almost like, yeah, just, I don't care what happens as long as you're out of the house, you're off to school. And what's happened, lockdown has really put us in a situation we've had to start dealing with our kids and actually being the parents that we were called to be.
And actually said, are these really my children?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We get to find out their personalities.
Yep.
And some children might find out that they don't even like their parents, So things are getting found out around lockdown,
I found out one thing with my youngest son. I always get calls from school that D'Angelo is always chatting, interrupts the class. He does his work, he's really good, he's a very good student, but then he always interrupts the class. And I witnessed it here. Sat down, Stephen in his class, and he was just chatting away, causing disruption. And I said, aha!
Really?
That's what the teacher calls me about all the time. And he couldn't say anything because I caught him red-handed this time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thinking, you are disruptive. Very disruptive.
Yeah, it's great that we can find out. We've got time to actually find out about our kids. So, Isha, please tell the people first a little bit about your background, why you have authority in this area.
Okay, I have 3 grown children, the eldest of who's 42, and my baby is 27.
That's so lovely!
Yes, I've got many years experience of parenting, but apart from that, I've been a counsellor for over 20 years. And I'm a parent coach, and one of my passion is improving the relationship between parent and child. I love to repair relationships, and like we're in lockdown, it's been very disruptive for parents right across the board. It's been very disruptive. It's a challenging time. So if you're a parent out there, I want you to know, don't beat upon yourself because you are doing your best with the tools that you have, but you can always add to that. Okay, so don't start beating up yourself. I look at it this way, is that one of the things I want you to do if you're a parent is to, first of all, take off the internal boxing gloves. Because I know that Mark's a boxer, so take off the internal boxing gloves and stop beating yourself around the ring. Because there's nobody else in that 4 square box with you but you, knocking yourself from post to post. So take it off.
Yeah, that's some great advice.
And that's what for someone out there. I hope you take that on board.
Yeah, I want you to take that off because you're doing well. It's a tough time, especially if you are a lone parent. Okay, it is a tough time because especially with lone parent when they've got 2 or 3 children and they're dependent on the school system to take care of that. For 6 hours a day, I haven't got the children. I take the little one to nursery and I take the other 2 to school. And for 6 hours, I have got a break. Yeah, because some parents are not working; they're just at home. So and just having their children there full-time, especially if they're living in a high-rise flat and there's no garden and there's nothing there, and you're living with your children, you know, just 2-bedroom and just a kitchen, diner, and that's all you have got, that's all the space you have, and you're tripping over each other. And if you've got a teenage child who can't be asked because they don't want to get out of bed, they don't want to get on Teams to do their schoolwork, they don't draw they don't put the curtains back, they haven't showered for 4 days, you know, mom can't get them out of bed, it is tough, you know.
That's what Julia said. A lot of people haven't.
Bro, please, Lord, let the internet just flow.
Exams, and you know.
Oh, come on.
Please, Lord, let the internet flow. Man.
It's probably on our side.
Have a good session.
Okay.
Isha,
repeat
say
that.
that again, babe.
I'm saying that with young people who are in year 11, taking exams, you know, it comes to a crucial point in their lives, and their parents cannot get them out of bed to study. You know, they just don't want to know. They're in my counseling session. They're saying, Isha, I just can't be up. I can't be bothered. I'm not drawing my curtain. I'm not speaking to my mom. She don't know me, and they just want to get out of the house, but they are stuck. Parents can do, you know, to help them, because what lockdown has proven is that parents.
Come on down.
Yeah. You got that?
No, I missed it. I missed that.
The parents actually do not know their children.
Okay, so I heard that. So what
some
you're saying, some parents do not know their children.
You're freezing, Mark. You keep freezing.
Yeah, it's strange.
We all are freezing.
It's strange because I don't even know if I'm freezing because mine
no, you are.
Because I
can see it.
Really?
Yeah, you are.
So how come it keeps going?
You can see it there, but you see here, you see that she's freezing, and you see it there.
I see.
Yeah, but it is.
I get it. Just watch. Kids aren't messing internet stopping.
Yeah.
That's good advice. Yeah, no doubt.
And,
just hang on, it's okay, go on.
We gotta get this right because this is too important.
And look, Yemo's not here playing today and he's messing around.
Yeah.
He's not here.
There's only my man using the laptop. So I turn off any other devices.
I have. I've taken off the other.
You stop freezing now. Yeah?
Okay, Mark, go on.
Go on, darling.
Okay. So what I would like parents to do is to try and take back some control, because at the moment it feels as though the children are controlling the parents in the home, because the parents they are just giving in and they're just giving up. But I don't want parents to give up, because this is a prime time to get to know your child properly. You find that parents do not know their children. If I ask a parent, you know, what's your child's favorite color? And that's not something I asked a very professional parent, and who didn't know what the child's favorite color was. What does your child like to eat? And then again, they didn't know, because they're so used to passing each other out the house. You know, if you're a busy parent coming in, you just want to come in and make the food, get your children ready for bed, and put them to bed without a second thought. So you're just actually passing each other, and you're working on autopilot without stopping to spend any quality time with your child. And that is why you don't know them, and that's why you're struggling, especially if you're a school teacher. You're struggling because you're getting work ready for your class, but you also have to tend to your own children at home. So it is a tough time. So I just wanted you to give you some tools, you know, just to help you, because every household is different, and some of these tools will work for you. Some of you are doing these things already, and congratulations to you if you're doing it already. You know, but I want parents to, first of all, to care about your emotional health. Yeah, your emotional well-being and your mental health really matters in this time. It is important. Parents are important. Many times, you know, we hear in the media about children, but we don't hear about the importance of parents. That really matters, you know. And what I want you to do is to, like Mark was saying when I first come on, it was about taking action. Taking action. If you want change, you have to take action.
Mm-hmm.
What you do, prune yourself, like, you know, out there.
A professional athlete.
If you don't get up, don't
Don't expect your children.
If you don't get up, don't expect your children to get up.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah.
Up, Ma.
That is right. That is so right. Because then they're following you and you're the example.
Yeah. Be the example that you want to see. Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're freezing, Isha.
Hold that thought, Isha.
Just stay there. Top screen is clear, bottom screen is freezing. So just hang on a sec, Isha. Don't say anything else. Let's just clear up a bit.
Just hold it.
Because I'm taking notes so we can repeat it later.
This is tease. Yeah, this is good. It really is. And that's why I'm just praying right now and asking God to.
Okay, Charlotte, we're just waiting a second. Just allow Isha to. Isha, do you want to come out and come back?
So while it's kind of coming round, let me just kind of go over what some of the things Isha's talking about. Someone says parents have to read. Yeah, let's comment. Let's talk about people.
Yeah, so let's do it again. So while she goes on,
someone says parents have to be role models
to their children. Absolutely, I believe in that.
That's what Isha was mentioning. Bottoms, yeah. And what was it? What was on there, babe?
So care about your emotional health and well-being. Those are some of the tools. That's one of the tools that she's mentioned before she started freezing.
But we want to know how, because a lot of people, they're hearing ideas, but they don't know how to care about their tools and their well-being. What are the tools that you need to be practicing? Because I really need to let everyone know this, yeah. Just like everything else, we need practice. When did we get training to be parents?
Nope.
Come on, young people, cut us some slack. We never got trained to be a parent. We've just come into this, and what we normally copy what's happened to us. We normally do what we were taught, and we follow it. And then that's where we find out that we get a lot of things wrong. So Isha, please continue.
So we were at take action, Isha.
Taking action, that's the part we were at.
Yeah, taking action. I want parents to get to know themselves. Can you hear me? Get to know yourself. Lots of parents don't take time to get to know themselves. I'm getting some feedback.
Yeah, how do they do that, Isha? How do they get to know themselves?
By taking, one of the things is by help.
Say that again, though. Hold tight.
Support to help them.
So we're asking that question so we can give you tools throughout this. I don't want to leave you with just a conversation. It was a good conversation. I want to leave you with things that you can actually take into your daily life and you can work on. So the things that Isha is going to be speaking about, I'm just praying that God helps with our Wi-Fi, that it comes through, and that we're able to finish this conversation and talk more on it. But yeah, it's messing up, going in and out currently, and it's very difficult to actually get a clear cut conversation from this. So I'll share something with you. I found it challenging to have 3 big boys in the yard all the time when lockdown came in. I don't know how many others found it challenging like that. And I don't think I was kind of dealing with it too well. There was a lot of stuff going on in my head, because I've got kind of standards about the way that I lived, like tidiness, how people should be thoughtful, living with each other, clearing up behind them. And a lot of boys they're not really thinking like that. They're not being thoughtful towards, I made this mess, let me clear it up before I go, and things like that. So, I found a lot of that, was clashing. And when I see young boys like sitting around, and their focus is they don't have any real goals.
Isha, you're still freezing, just so you know.
Just so you know, Isha. Yeah. So I'm just sharing with them until we can get you back. I'm just sharing with you personal testimony of my own challenge that I found that what grates me is when I see young men not utilizing their potential in life. And I think there's so much things that we can develop and learn, and we use all the time to shoot him, kill him, and shoot him, die, and all of this stuff here, just madness here, or playing football. You're not developing your skills playing a virtual game. You're just being entertained by a virtual game. Are you back, Isha?
Yes, I'm back.
Excellent. Let me not chat on. I need your time, your valuable time. Please speak.
Yeah.
Solution, what can we do?
Yeah. One of the things I would like parents and young people to do, if not separately, is get a piece of paper and write down, what is it that I do well? All the things that you do well, or you've done well in the past. Yeah, I want you to get to know you, do it on paper, write it down, and give yourself a visual of what is inside of you.
I hope you guys are taking notes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Because you find that you have so much qualities in you, but you just don't know that they're there. You're more resilient than you think that you are. Okay. If you've come this far, you've managed to have a child, you've come this far, you've done well.
Well, that's right. All right, so let's put the questions down and let's do the exercise afterwards. So that's the first thing, yeah?
Yeah. So I want you to do that. Then you want to have a look at that and look at what you do and start from where you are at. Yeah?
Nice.
So I want you to take notice of you and who you are, not who the media say you are, who you are by getting to know yourself, becoming self-aware of who you are. Yeah? Because a child will always copy what parents are doing or who parent is. Because you have to remember that when you have a young child, you are the best mom in the world to them most of the time, and you are the best dad to them. And even if you have a dysfunctional family, when I work for local authority, even when dysfunctional family, a child still wants to stay at home. They still want to be a part of their family. They don't want to be taken into care. Yeah, so there must be something special about you in the first place. Yeah, for your child to want to stay with you and to be with you. Yeah, so see yourself through different eyes, and that's why I say stop with the internal boxing gloves. You're beating up your mind about making mistakes. Don't rear your children by your past. Stay in the present, move towards the future. Yeah. So while you're at home, do something different. Sit your children down and have some fun. It doesn't have to be all serious. Actually, turn your TV off. Turn the news off. We've heard enough about COVID. Turn the news off. Take the scare out of the house. Take the scare out of your mind. Okay. Turn the TV off.
Yeah. Take the conditioning out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Just going to put my... It doesn't... Sorry. Trying to get better sound. Sorry. Having lots of problems here.
Yeah. No worries.
Okay. Another thing is, when was the last time you had some fun and played a game? Develop a family game.
Yeah.
Develop a family game. Take your old photographs. I'm sure you have loads of photographs now. Take them out. Put them on the floor and go through them with your children. Have a laugh. Do something different. Yeah? You don't have to be dictated to by the news. Yeah? We're living our lives according to the media.
That's true.
They're dictating to us how we should live. They're in control of us. The media is controlling us. Yeah, so we're rearing our children at the moment on fear. Yeah,
Wow.
but you change the narrative and change the atmosphere in your home. Yeah, sort of, you know, have some ground rules in your home and have some boundaries and get the children to sit with you and make those boundaries and rules. Let them do it as a family. What are the rules? The rules in the morning is that you have a class at 9 o'clock. You have to your bed by 8:30. Call. Yeah.
Okay, so she's just going through, she's breaking up, but she's going through some of the things that we can implement. You know, we're talking about taking massive action, and here is the action that we are going to start taking, whether it's mentally, practically. This is action. Let's go for it, Isha. So you said, what was the last thing that you said?
Having some boundaries and ground rules in the house, okay? Ground rules like you cannot have your 9-year-old up at 12 o'clock at night watching Netflix and expect them to get up in the morning to go to class. They're too tired. I'm having children that are going to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. These are young children. Yeah. Wow. And then parents are sending them to me for me to fix them. No, you take responsibility. Yeah. So sometimes the phones are out of the rooms at 9 o'clock. Yeah. All phones go off at 9 o'clock for your children. Shouldn't be texting a friend at 3 o'clock in the morning.
In our home, phones went in the landing. So it wasn't in the rooms. The phones went on the landing floor. You plugged it in and you left it in the landing. And then they went to bed. So that's after everyone put their phones in the landing, go in their bedroom. Why? Because we don't want them getting distracted by other children who don't have parents, who aren't ensuring that their boundaries in their house and their children are impacting on my children. And then you're going to have your children feeling like, well, they're messaging, they're able to do it. And then they start feeling like there's something wrong with you because you're not allowing them to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So it has to be clear, understandable boundaries, which a lot of parents seem to not have since lockdown. Wow. Going around, yeah. So there are more and more children coming into counselling, and half the children I see, I shouldn't be seeing them, I should be seeing the parent. The parent that is counselling, not the child. Yeah, and the parents will not take responsibility, you know, for what they're doing. They have no boundaries, and then when the children kick off, they
want to blame the children.
I'm sorry.
So, what's normally happening when a parent just decides that, you know what, you know, I can't be asked, you know, do what you do, you know, I can't make them listen, I can't. So normally the kid's just taken over and he's doing what he likes. What's happening with the parent really in reality when they sort of throw in the towel? That's going on in many homes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not hearing you at the moment, Isha. It's breaking up.
Hold it a sec, Ish. Hold it a sec, Ish. So there could be fear of outcomes for parents when... Isha, you back here?
I'm back here.
Okay, so I was going to come up with something because
What's the question again? What's happening with parents?
What is going on when a parent normally just throws their authority out the window and just lets the kids do what they want? They're smoking weed in the yard, doing whatever they like, going to bed whenever they like, on their phones till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning till they drop asleep. They're waking up whenever they want. They've got no goals, no dreams, no aspirations. They're just in the yard. So we're asking what's happening to parents, why they've come to that point in their life. And one of the things, before our Wi-Fi gets cleared up and Nisha comes back, is I was saying that parents they've relinquished their whole authority, basically in the home as parents to teach and raise the child. And I think there's fears involved, like you know, the fear of actually taking action and actually taking a grip of what's going on, what could happen, you know, and some of the decisions that they might have to make. Because if your young person is running the home, then at some point you have to look at the option of, can you be in the home still?
Can it also be?
You back, Isha?
I'm still here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, go on. I was going to say, can it be that some parents are actually struggling with lockdown themselves, and they themselves are throwing the towel upon themselves, so which leave the kids as well?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Isha, we're just discussing what could be some of the reasons why parents just give up and aren't even attempting to make sure that their children have boundaries and their home is run right.
Okay. A lot of times, when parents give up, it's that's when their children have lost respect for them. Yeah. Where children are not listening, they've just lost respect because the parents are giving instructions that they're not abiding by. They're having rules that they're not abiding by. You know, do as I say, but not as I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot. Before I came on, we were discussing a young man that's just been incarcerated because his mom was living a lifestyle that he didn't like. It was an awful lifestyle. And when he saw that well, if my mom's doing that, well, I'm going to try that too. Yeah. And it didn't work out well for him. Now she's blaming him, but she doesn't realize that her lifestyle caused this. Yeah, and she's absolutely not taking responsibility for her actions. Yeah, and children often get blamed for a lot of things. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they often come into counselling, being blamed, and the history is long, and they've done, you know, umpteen things, but the parents have not taken the responsibility. You know, this is my dirty lifestyle that has caused this. You know, I have parents come to counselling, and I'm thinking about who is the parent and who is the child. Because in the counselling, I've got a son swearing at his mother, you know, but the way she behaved towards him, I can see why he behaves. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying her actions and her behaviour and her lifestyle has caused this young man to behave the way he does. Yeah, and he will tell you that he's lost respect, and he will tell you that my mother is sick. He will tell you those things, and they will say they've totally lost respect for her. Yeah, so it's regaining that respect for them. You need to regain that respect by sitting down and having that conversation with your child. And a lot of the times, you know, children are with their parents in the home, especially if they're teenagers, and there's no conversation. Parents haven't seen a child for 2 or 3 days because they're stuck in their room. They don't know how to keep a conversation with them. But it literally is about sitting down, switching off your phone, switching off the TV, and sitting down and having those conversations, those hard conversations with your children. They are difficult conversations, but they need to be had. There's no such word as you can't.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. Someone said, pardon me, someone said, what about parents with medical conditions? I would immediately say, has the parent had a medical condition from the very beginning? What type of medical condition are we talking about?
They got support.
Because I found that when you brought up your children in a way where you have brought them up to be respectful and had boundaries around how they behave in the home, by a certain age, you'll find that if you continue being consistent with how you brought up your children from the very beginning, you don't change from those ways, you'll find even though there's a challenge, that they'll always come back and fall into line with how you brought them up, because you haven't been inconsistent. You've always been congruent with everything. You've always been able to communicate with your children. And I think that results in your children and being good citizens, moral people, young people with good morals, respect for others. So I think it's something that starts from when they are babies.
It does. It does, Mark. But in hearing all that you've just said, yeah, because people bring their children up with respect from their young, it doesn't always mean that they're in love with their children.
That's true.
To fall in love with your children. And when lose respect is because they've fallen out of love with their parents. But parents need to fall in love with their children first and foremost. And I say that because my mother's never ever been in love with me, and I've learned not to be in love with her.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have to we have to be deliberate in falling in love with our children. When we're in love with our children, the struggle isn't as difficult. Yeah. When we are in love with our children, we don't palm them off to other people.
That's true.
We become mindful of our children when we are in love. I am in love with my children. The reason why they become really excellent professionals is because I have been in love with them from day one, and I have never fallen out of love with them. Yeah. Doesn't mean I don't chastise them. It doesn't mean that I haven't set boundaries. I've got clear boundaries. I'm not an authoritarian parent, but I'm authoritative. Yeah. Yes. Authoritative means that they know, do not cross the boundaries. Yeah. Yeah. And that is it. You have to fall in love with your children. Yeah. Parents want to get rid of the children when they just want them out the way. They're not in love with them. Just like you fall in love with a man and a woman, you fall in love with your girl and you fall in love with your boy because they're your children.
You know, can I just comment on that, Isha?
Wow, Isha, that's big.
Because there's so many dads out there that make excuses, and mums make excuses why they can't get the kids, why they can't keep the children. You know, why, like, recently there's a story like, oh, the dad was like, well, you've come back late, so I'm not taking them this weekend. Sort of attitudes like that. Like, do you really enjoy having your children? You love your child. You know, because regardless of what the other person does, you want to enjoy time with your child. Why? Because you've got your own aspirations, you've got your own relationship, and you want that to continue. And I remember being a young dad, and there was lots of things going on in my life, and I could have said, do you know what, I can't have my boys or my girls or my children this weekend because this and that's going on. But it was always like, my thing was always like, I've got to be with my children.
Yep, that was mine.
I've got to be with my children. Yep, so whatever happened, I just got through it. There was times when I did not have nowhere to stay. Wow. For myself. I'm getting deep here, yeah? For myself here personally, I didn't even use that as an excuse not to be with my children. It was like, boy, you best find somewhere where you can jam with them. You know, find another way. But I just needed to be with my kids. And I think that we need to have, you're right, we need to have that mindset when it comes to our children.
And also, I never understand that that's what it was, Isha, falling in love with your children. Because at one point, I decided to give up my job, my career, so I could be with my children because I didn't want to give them to anyone to look after. I wholesomely believed that it was my responsibility. And I was willing to do that because I became a single parent. The dad was off and it was just me and the young children, and I was doing midwifery, and there was no time. Who was going to look after them? So I decided that, okay, then I'm going to leave my job. I'll leave it for a while. No. I was there and I was at the hospital. Okay. And then I decided, okay, then I'll just leave the job. At least they say you can come back after a certain period of time. So I thought I'm going to save this time with my children until things work itself out and so forth and so on. But then in the end, when I made that decision, God has been so good that I didn't have to do that in the end. He sent someone to me. But I made the decision to stay with my children. And what I done was stop working full time, stop doing nights, and cut my money right down and did only 2 days per week.
Yeah. Another thing we can do, we can stop blaming lockdown. We can blame lockdown for not having a relationship with our children. Stop that. Okay? If you want a relationship with your child, lockdown or not, you will have that relationship. You will take that time to make that relationship. I'm not going to mix my word here. And I'm going to speak to dads as well, because there are a lot of good dads.
Yes, there are lots of good dads out there. And we need to recognize that. Not everyone's the same.
As she looks in my face.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
She looks in my face. You're too funny.
Yeah, we're just waiting for your circles to stop going around.
Did it
God,
get that through?
Yeah, please repeat.
Yeah, there are. There are many good dads out there, and if you're a good dad, many good dads, and there are very. What was that, Mark?
What makes a good dad? Because, like, when we hear there are many good dads out there, all the dads are going, yes, but they might be the crap dads.
There are also many crap moms out there too. Yeah, a lot of crap moms out there. All right, I've met.
Yeah.
I've met a few.
So what? Let's not focus on what makes a crap mom and a dad. Let's focus on what makes a good dad.
A good dad.
Yeah,
my husband. A good.
Wi-Fi, could you clear yourself up and allow Isha to speak and stop getting in the way, please? Because you're annoying this Insta Live show and people are getting
that's
so
great,
much
Stevie. I've got a good relationship with my boys too.
Best mates and sons. Excellent. My two best mates and sons. Imagine your children feeling comfortable to come to you and say, when they reach certain ages, that, you know, they like this person and, you know, what do you think about them? Or they've had an argument with someone that they like. Because I get them sort of conversations with my boys, and my girls talk to me about what's going on in their relationships. And I think we have to work towards that, and the way we are open, and we could still have authority, but our children,
are you back, Isha?
Our children feel our love, so it allows them to want to come to us and speak to us. So I think it's really important that we have a fine balance. Because don't you think, guys, that a lot of parents are just getting too friend? It's like the mums want to compete with their daughters and want to be like their mates. And dads as well want to compete with their children.
We lost Isha again.
She's going to come back.
You know what? This has been good, because we might have to do this again next week.
Is she back yet?
She's probably probably gone off to come back on.
I'm just sharing something.
We can recap what she said.
And we could talk about maybe some of the points that you've made as well. And I'm talking about, I think we all understand this as one of the problems. It's almost like, because our generation's quite different than our parents, you knew they were parents, okay? And us guys, we're more on our children's level, but it's almost like we want to be on that level, but we kind of cross that line where they see us more as a brethren, one of their brethren, and we kind of want to fit into that.
How do you find that balance, though, Mark?
Yeah, we want to fit. I think it's by always remembering that you have a role to play. As a mother and a father, our role is to prepare our young people with the morals and the right character in life, because they're going to face challenges. They're going to face different types of people. They're in a battlefield, basically. They're in a jungle. They're in a ring, and, you know, whatever analogy. But it's like if I use the ring analogy, you're the trainer. Your child, your child is the fighter, and you've got to develop this child to become a champion. Or you could develop your child and they just go out there losing all the battles because you're not spending time ensuring that you're doing your part, you're researching, you're caring about your fighters, you're doing what's right for your child.
Can I just add, I believe that the balance also comes from when the children are rather young as 4, 5, 6 months old. My dad used to always say that as soon as a child can recognize you and smile, start disciplining your child. So it doesn't start when the children are big and can understand, okay, you're a mom and dad, but you need to start from early. You need to set the boundaries from an early age so they understand what boundaries are there, not when they're older, because by that time it's all lost, it's all gone.
Yeah, it's lost.
And I think that's when you find a balance between your children. You can find that balance there.
Steve is funny.
That's too funny, Steve.
So your boys, they try and pull your trousers right down to your the cleft of your bum or something, and say, yeah.
Or you wearing tight trousers, Stevie? Which one?
Yeah,
and no socks.
And slick shoes.
Isha, I've sent you a request again.
We're waiting for you, Isha.
But I think that's how it starts. It starts from when the kids are young. You need to discipline and set boundaries from there on as well.
And guess what? What's your aim?
And you have to keep it going. You don't change it as they get older.
But what's your aim for your child? What do you want for yourself as a parent? What is your aim as a parent? Because many of us don't have that. We've never been taught that we also need to have aims and goals as parents. You know, what kind of parent do you want to be? And everyone says that, you know, my child knows I love them. Yeah, but we think that clothing them and providing food is enough. I clothe you.
Is there any hope for those parents? Hang on a second, babe. Is there any hope for those parents who didn't start as early as 3 to 4 months? Okay, start at 1 year old. There is.
I'll tell you how you do this, yeah? Have real conversations with your children. Sit them down and say, listen, I think I screwed up. I think I messed up here. I don't think I got this right. And if I had another chance, I'll probably work out this more with you. I'll probably work in this area a bit more with you, because as a result of me doing this, I've seen that you're like this now. I've seen that you're doing this now, and I take full responsibility for that. What a conversation that would be that started with you talking to your children like that, and then saying to your child, listen, I don't want this to continue, because just because I started off and I didn't get things right doesn't mean we have to continue in the same way. So Isha, I'm just trying to talk to parents about having a really serious conversation who wants to make change. And I said, and let me know if you agree or not, that having a real serious conversation about your mistakes as a parent, where you think you went wrong, and it doesn't mean that we need to continue doing this, and can we make some changes together that can improve the relationship, make changes, but a parent showing that they're not perfect, because parents don't want to admit that they're wrong, really. Like, I'm the parent, and we think that's authority, but it's not. Authority and leadership comes with humility.
That's right.
I've sat down with my boys and just said, listen, guys, I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry.
I
was wrong.
Bro, I've now understood how you felt when I've done this action or when I said those words. And I just need you to know I can't take it back.
And the amount of power we got from that, it was so powerful. It's like,
you can heal.
You can heal, yeah. You can see that they're healing right as well.
Through you having a real honest conversation and then saying, let's start building on this. You know, how do you think that you can help to build back? What do you think about that, Isha?
Yeah, I think that the first step is that you admit to yourself that you are wrong. You become aware of that. Once that comes into awareness, you're on the road to recovery. Yeah, and like you said, you speak to your children, especially as they're older, and just say, you know, I was wrong. Yeah, because everyone makes mistakes. You know, I've been parenting for 42 years, but I still make mistakes now, and I still get my daughter saying to my mom, "You need to leave that alone. I will do that because I want to save them. I don't want them to go through any pain." So if they're with someone that I'm not sure of, I will make a comment and they don't like it, but it's because I want to safeguard them.
Yes.
Yeah? So I do make mistakes and they tell me that I made a mistake and I'm sorry, and you move on from there. Yeah, mistakes are there for our learning.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I say to parents, take off your internal boxing glove because you made a mistake. So what? So as long as you've learned from it, that is the main thing. You just need to learn from it. If you don't learn from it, then you've lost the game altogether. Then you move on from there. Don't keep reliving your past. Don't keep going, playing that broken record, that mind movie. Don't keep doing that. Move on from it.
So I was just thinking about the parents who, the parents who are trying to protect their children from everything. What are the results of that? Parents want to protect their children from everything out there, because the first thing I think I realized after my son got killed was that, wow, like I wasn't there. I couldn't be there to save my child. Like that was a hard pill to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have left me if I had a different type of mindset, if I chose different choices to mess me up, and then that would have impacted on the rest of my children and the way I handle them. I could have been overprotected, which would have kind of ruined their development now.
Yes, that is called helicopter parenting.
Oh wow, there's a name for it.
Mm-hmm. Helicopter parenting.
Because I know mums are upset. They want to do food for their sons, breakfast for their sons, dinner for their sons, wash the dishes for their sons, clean their clothes for their sons. And when it's time for them to have a girlfriend and go away, oh my goodness, it's mental warfare for them. It's like, this person's coming, taking my boy. Yeah, oh man.
Yeah, and I know that very well, Prince, because I had that problem with my husband. Yeah, he was a mummy's boy.
Wow.
Yes, and she told me 4 days before we got married, I don't want you to marry my son. She loved her son. She did everything for him, and she wanted to keep him. And I was the girl that came along and stole him.
Wow.
How damaging? What is the damage, the reality of the damage you're doing to your own child who you openly admit that you love?
Yes. Helicopter parenting is not good parenting, okay? Because you suffocate the child. Yeah, that's what you do. You don't allow them to come up to breathe because you're over them. You're in their business 24/7. You know, I know of 11-year-olds going to secondary school and they can't even wash themselves because mum has never allowed them to have a bath by themselves. You know, that's called helicopter parenting. It's just too much for children, and parents need to sort of back off and give them space sometimes. And, you know, especially black moms and their sons, you know, they overprotect their sons. They do everything for their sons, and they don't give them the opportunity to do for themselves. You're laughing. But your son is not your husband. They are not your boyfriend. It's your son. Separate the two. You're not married to them. Let go.
Because when I met Daz, one thing I loved about her is that I didn't meet many mums that had sons and made sure that they took part in cleaning the home, that they took part in had their responsibilities for themselves. Do your room, you go to bed at this time, you get up at this time, you do this. Have you done your homework? When you come in from school, you give me a call. There was routine, but it was all wrapped up in that love. They knew mum loves me to bits, because that was always demonstrated in everything that she done. So she was able to have the authority with them, and she was able to get that respect from them as well, because she demonstrated, I put you lot first, but you have to, I'm bringing you up to be grown men.
Yeah.
that are going to be responsible for your own home, your own families, and the people that are in your home. So I just thought that was a wonderful part of her character.
They still do chores, by the way.
That's good discipline, because love, discipline, boundaries, they're all related. You can't have one without the other. You can't say you love your children, they've got no discipline, they've got no boundaries. You know, there are no consequences. You know, that's not love. Love is disciplining your children. Yeah, because when you do not discipline them, you're setting them up to fail.
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct. And you're giving them those life skills, as my friend Dawn saying, the life skills are needed. So now you can say, I love my child. I've shown my child love, because we talked about love last week and everyone agreed it is an action. It's a doing word. You can't you can't say I feel it for you, you know, I feel so much love for you, but is it demonstrated in the quality of the life that I now lead as a result of you being my leader? Because we are that leader in that child's life. We are that child's mentor. We are the child's teacher. We are everything. We, a parent, such a massive role. And I don't think it's respected enough by government, by people. It's overlooked, like, oh, well, you're a stay-at-home mum or you're a stay-at-home dad. That's a massive job.
role. You've got people who put down parents, mums, who are a stay-at-home mom, who look after the children, who look after the house, look after their husband, and they're being put down for that. Hello, can you do that?
It's a big job.
It's massive.
Yeah, it is massive. It is massive. And I want to congratulate all the stay-at-home moms, because when I had my children, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I never got that opportunity to do that. So I welcome that. Stay-at-home moms, they do a great job. Yeah. Yeah, they do a fantastic job. And you got stay-at-home dads too.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saluting all the dads that are staying at home, putting your children first, and your sacrificing for your children, putting them first, looking after them, educating them at home, really enjoying the job. Because you know, there's a difference between making sure your children do their homework and their work at home, and you enjoying being the teacher.
Yes.
There's a difference. They will learn.
There is a difference.
They see that you enjoy being in their company.
So we're going to fix Isha, and I'm going to allow you, because it's much better reception, if you can go over the tools for these parents.
Yeah, let's go over some more solutions and tools.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to say is that we talk a lot about the love of moms, but we never talk about the sacrifice of a dad. And that is really important to talk about sacrifice. It works hand in hand. Yeah. And I would say that for tools, I would say that is parents become self-aware of themselves. Parents loving themselves, doing some self-care first, because you cannot give out from a place of empty. Yeah. You have to give out from a place of fullness. And I call it self-full. There's a difference between selfish and self-full. Yeah. So selfish is when you know that you are in need, but you don't get the support from friends or professionals that you need. Self-full is when you get the support that you need to make you a better parent. Yeah.
Say that again.
They're selfish and they're self-full. Okay. Yeah. Selfish is knowing that you're in need of help, that you can't do it all by yourself, and not getting that adequate support to help you to parent, whether that's from friends or from grandparents or from a professional going into counseling to deal with some of your past, whether that's it. But self-full is being aware of who you are, knowing who you are, getting that support that you need, because you cannot give out from an empty place. And sometimes parents are they're struggling to give out from the empty cup. Your cup must always be full. And what's in the saucer belongs to everybody else, but your cup must always be full. Yeah? So you must always be resourceful. So build up your own resources first.
I love that, Isha. Thank you so much. I love it. Absolutely. That's selfish and self-full. Who are you?
Yeah. And if you're a parent struggling with self-loathe and low self-esteem and low self-worth, you know, that's going to make it very difficult for you to parent. adequately. So that is why I say, if you need some support, then get that help. Because if you're loathing yourself, what are you projecting onto your children?
Exactly. Isha, let's tell them where to get that help right now before you move on to the next point.
Well, you can get that help. You may need to go in counselling. You can come to me. You know, my Instagram is it's Isha Johnson. You know, you can get in touch with me because I'm a counsellor, I'm a coach. So you can send me a message and I will get in touch with you, or I could put you in touch with somebody else. Yeah, there are plenty of counsellors out there who do what I do, but I'm very good at what I do, and I do get results. So if you want results, you know, you can come to me, but I can tell you this, I don't do glitter and poo. So I will dig deep and pull you up, because I take all the glitter off the poo. Yeah. Yeah, that's my style. So don't come to me if you don't want to make change. I am not your coach. I am not your counselor. But if you want real change, you can come to me and we will dig up all the dirt and we will replant that tree and we will make you come up with branches and I will make you soar. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's the sort of counselor. I don't do textbook. I'm no textbook counselor. I did a textbook to get the qualification, but I'm no textbook. Yeah, but if you want to look in the mirror and make a change, then you can come to Isha Johnson. But if not, go to someone who's going to do textbook.
Who's gonna cuddle you?
You know, I just see right now.
Yes, love it.
Isha's on my platform.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
Well, that's what we need, and
Isha,
that's love, and that is just the love that's coming out of you yourself, though, Isha.
Yeah.
That's really, that's what we need.
Please don't be Isha, guys. Mums,
those who need
support with your sons, your daughters, dads. And just to get some extra tips, just to, even if you might not need the sessions, just send Isha some questions.
And even for yourselves.
Isha's more than happy to answer your questions.
Parents out there who are struggling with themselves, who are not aware of themselves and need to move from that stuck or that rut where they're in, I would also recommend you connect with Isha because she'll be able to help you.
Don't go through me, just go direct to Isha.
It's Johnson. Beautiful.
Carry on, Isha, because I know you written down some more points. Really important.
Yes,
yeah. And you know what? You see how bright my colours are?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is deliberate today. Brilliant. Sometimes you get up, get dressed, change the colour of your clothes.
Change the colour.
Yeah, change the colour of your clothes. Women, if you're out there, get up, put your makeup on. I know you're in the house. Put your makeup on. Get dressed.
Isha, dress up.
Yes. Get dressed. Yeah. Get dressed. Even if you're gonna walk down the road, get dressed. If you can walk in your stilettos or whatever, get dressed. Sometimes you just have to get dressed. Feel good about yourself. If you feel good about yourself, you're gonna feel good about parenting your child. Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah, Mama.
No, you need to. Listen to me. Let me go a bit deeper. Wear decent underwear. And feel good about yourself.
Girl, man.
Feel good about yourself.
Stop going to bed in that bullet-ridden, war-torn night dress.
Look sexy at night. Not to please him, but to please yourself.
Oh,
just to be yourself.
Yeah.
Feel good about you.
This is for the lads.
I recommend that because you do that all the time. It's lovely. You feel really good. Go in your drawer, you see lovely underwear, but this he just falls down over it. Don't even realize but anyways. Yeah.
And I say that honestly, if you feel good about yourself, you're going to be in a better position to listen to your child, to communicate, to hear what they're saying, to be there, to hug them. You need to, when was the last time you hugged your child? To hug them, to become lovable, because you're falling in love with yourself. Fall in love with yourself so you can extend that love to your children and fall in love with them over again. Yeah, and that's why I say get dressed, put your perfume on. You know, not just for your boyfriend or for your husband. Do it for you.
It feels so good.
Feels so good.
So Isha, while you're talking about loving yourself. There's someone that contacted me this week that's like, my boys are in can't get them out of the room. They're just smoking weed in their room. You know, they're doing this and that, you know, and I've suffered from the depression and all sorts of different things. And there might be other people that are dealing with their own problems, and on the back of that, they've just left their children to do whatever. So I know what I would say to her, but please share, what is the first thing that you would say that she needs to do if she's suffering with depression and all sorts of anxiety and stuff, and to start changing her situation?
Oh, someone says here, when I'm not in a good mood or a good space, I tell my child to get lost. Oh.
So how's your child feeling?
I would recommend you go see Isha.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. Get lost.
Yeah, I hear that. But I would say to that mom very much, get some professional support.
Okay, great.
Okay, get some professional support, because she's not in a mind space at the moment to deal with her children. She's not there at the moment. Her depression has taken over. And when you're depressed, you just don't feel like doing anything. You haven't got the mind space to do anything. So get some professional support to help her to come back to some sort of normality.
Correct, because you can't do nothing for children if you're in a place of need.
No, and you can't do anything for yourself either.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So get some support for yourself before
first, and then the children.
Then the children, yeah. And if the children are young enough, or if the children, you can get some professional support for them as well to find out how they're feeling. Yeah, because they may be disgusted with you for not being an adequate parent. Yeah, so they may loathe you for not being an adequate parent.
Sometimes we don't think we're doing much damage because they're young, but we're going to see that damage later on. And we see them acting up. We're wondering, well, what happened to you? You weren't like this when you were 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10, but now you're 12, 13, 14. You're just acting crazy. But we don't realize it's what they went through when they was 5, 6, 7, 8, and whatever ages.
Yeah, I can give you a scenario of that. I had a dad that came to me with his daughter, and she was 12, and he said she's always swearing. I don't know where she got the swear words from, but every second word he said was a swear word.
So he said, where to get the effing swear word? Wow.
Yeah, but and he didn't realize that he did that.
Wow.
He absolutely didn't realize he did that. And that's how, you know, disconnected parents can be with their children, to not realize that their behavior is affecting and impacting their child.
Yeah, so very true. We talk about other people and how they're behaving, not realizing how we behave, maybe in a different way, but it's in the same way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But parents, you can do this. You absolutely can do this.
Get busy. Let's get busy, guys. What else you got, Isha? I do not want to leave until we've rinsed out any point that you put down, and then I'll wrap up.
Yeah. I've got here also not to talk at your children, but to take the time to talk to them. You know, because when we are not in a good mood as parents, we talk at our children rather than speaking to them like they're normal human beings. If you can take the time to get on the phone and speak to one of your friends for an hour decently, then you can do it for your child. Yeah.
Excellent. Because sometimes we're on the phone, we're having a nice chat with one person, then we talk to them like, hey, and we go back to talking to them all nice, and we're just like, do you know what I'm saying? So it's so clear and evident to the youth that you don't even like me.
Oh, thanks for putting that in. www.luminous counseling. I need to take that down as well. Thank you.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Isha's website's up, guys. Take it, put it down.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to say this. Your children are not your past. Stop taking them there.
Boom.
Boom.
Wow.
Yeah. They're not your past. Yeah. Stay in the present with your children.
Wow. Your children are not your past.
Your children are not your past.
Stop taking them there. Give us an example.
An example of that is that past relationships.
Can we give an example of that, of what parents... Oh, you give them one now?
Yeah. Okay. It's your past. It's everything that's happened in your past you're throwing at your children. Yeah, things like a mother has split up with the dad,
Okay.
and they're throwing everything that the dad did at the son.
Wow.
You look like him, you are like him, you're just like your dad, and they throw everything. That's your past. This is your son. Don't speak to him like that. Don't treat him like how that man treated you, and vice versa. Don't do that.
Daughters,
Yeah. How?
Daughters get it too.
Yeah, and vice versa. Don't do that. They're not your past. Yeah.
That's right.
Do the present. Yeah. And we're always dragging our children back into our past. That's not where they are. Whatever we did in our past was in our past. How our parents treated us, that's in our past. You know.
Beautiful.
They're very, very different now. We're it's a new generation. It's a new thing happening. Do not treat our children like the past.
So the solution to that is to become aware of how we're speaking to our children.
Yes. Yeah.
That we create in our life that is an impact on them.
Yeah.
So to show that we really love them, it's about looking at our cycles and breaking them. That's because it's creating so many negatives in our children's lives.
Yes. Yeah. And the last thing I'd like to say, Mark, is that if you have no structure, begin to create a structure today. Sit down with pen and paper with your partner, your wife, your children, or whoever it is, and begin to put a structure in today. Create the rules and the boundaries of the do's and the don'ts. Children like rules, they like structure, so put it in today. Start today. Go from being a good parent to a great parent.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Isha.
Beautiful.
I really appreciate you being on today. Even with the struggles, we still get it by. Thank you so much.
Clearing the airways and the clouds and the Wi-Fi interference.
Thank you, Isha. Hopefully
Isha,
we get
you
some
are
people
such
on.
a blessing. I love you so much. I think the people feel your energy. They feel your love for yourself, for your work that you do. And we're getting people coming up saying, thank you, Isha. Please, everyone, show Isha some love right now. Show Isha some beautiful love, because she's dropped some gems on us that we needed. And not only that,
love yourself,
this
guys.
platform of Created is for you, serving you. This is not just entertainment. This is to meet your needs. So when we finish here, there's something that where you can go and say, because I've been on this platform, I've now got support in such and such area and in such and such area.
That's right.
So this is what this is all about. And Isha's offered her skills and her time. She'll break it down to you what you need to do to be able to meet those requirements so you can get her skills and her time. Isha,
Isha, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Once dropped gems and body shot. Boom, boom.
Right, how do I come off here now?
Sorry, I'll take you off. Don't Isha.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Guys, have a wonderful week.
My ex isn't pressing.
Okay, let me take care of it for you, all right? Okay.
Isha, try and X yourself off.
All right, guys, let me keep chatting on this. So,
Sorry, leave it, because you're going to finish now anyway.
yeah, we're wrapping up. So, guys, usual announcements. There are people that are contacting me now about employment, okay? And keep contacting me to do with employment. There is a wide range of jobs. Don't get scared because I'm going to post about cleaning, okay? That's not the only job that is available. There are plenty of employment jobs available, and I want you to inbox me and let me know what you need. I'll send Mark did DM you.
Oh,
Great.
did you? Okay, I'll check.
Please.
I'll check it, Charlotte.
There's a lot, okay? There's a lot we've got on. We're going to get back to you. Going to do our best, because what's happened, to be fair with you, the hacker really did mess up my flow. So I still haven't quite settled back. So all the people that I was following, they're gone. I've got to be looking through them. All my messages that I had, they got all messed up.
So they're just coming back slowly.
There's certain people that I haven't gotten back to that I actually told we were in the middle of talking about various different things, and I haven't got those people back. So everyone, try and get back to me. Let me know. Begin initiating conversations.
Or
again.
send a new message.
Send a new message. Let me know what's going on. Don't take it personal, because I'm not trying to ignore anybody. And yeah, bloody yakkers. I'm not trying to ignore anyone and try and bump anybody. I'm here to do the best I can do for yourself with the time limitations I have. If I take longer than you are hoping that I'll get back to you, please be patient with me.
We'll get back to you.
Be patient, I'll get back to you. So the jobs are there. We are still,
and we've got support. We've got workshops from mental health to depression,
to domestic
abuse, violence and stuff like that. I put a website earlier on. It's called iconcommunitychurch.co.uk. I put it on earlier. On their website, there's loads of workshops that are happening for everyone. Can join whichever they choose, whichever problem you've got. You can choose them, choose the appropriate one, and join each week. And it's got a lot of information on there. And now we've also got Isha that is willing to support anyone who needs help, family, young people.
So we've got families, support, mental health, domestic abuse, like you name it. Come to us with the issue and the problem. Regarding
no, I haven't seen it. Try to do it again, Charlotte.
Regarding photography.
No, try to do it again.
So did I see something?
I'll have a look. As I said, it's because the hackers and stuff, but I'll have a look. Did she message me or Marks?
Bless you, bro.
Thanks, Stevie.
Oh, nice, Stevie.
Charlotte, I'll talk to you after here. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we look forward to
another week.
Seeing you again.
We exit the building. We love you guys so much, because without you, we couldn't have this program going on. This show wouldn't happen without you. So you are the special ones.
Yes.
We love you guys.
Take care.
Please tune in next week. We're going to have another excellent show for you where you can benefit from what's going on in our special guests.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Queen Desi. Bye.